They are not your friends at all. The opposite of Finding Nemo, fish are friends, not food. Like these people are not friends at all. Like they're hunting you like sharks. They know what they know what they're doing. It's deliberately set to you. So yeah, anything that's labeled healthy or even low calorie is, I still think, probably a trap. The top 5 things that do like hidden calories. And you know, so I mean, what were your take? What are your top 5 foods or whatever it is that have like hidden issues that people don't even realize? It's like, oh my God, this has so many calories in it. And if you either eliminate or do half of what you're doing, you actually just could see instant results.
Yeah. You want me to go through all 5 that I've got on my end, or do you want to split it? Okay. So yeah, what I came up with is first high calorie drinks. Super easy to change, right? You can go from Coke to Diet Coke, go from alcohol to lighter alcohol or non-alcoholic beer, which I'm huge into right now, is non-alcoholic beer. It's fun, it's tasty, and a lot less calories. And then the fancy coffees everyone gets at Starbucks. Like, come on, like,
oh my God.
It's literally a dessert. I mean, you don't.
It's 1,000. You're drinking 1,000 calories for coffee. It's not in coffee.
Pump that sugar in there. Pump that sugar in there.
Let's call it what it is. It's a milk smoothie or whatever. It's just like, it's not even real coffee.
It is, and I think some people have like, there's a little bit of a blind spot that there are options, and so sometimes it is just information. Like, hey, you love hot chocolate. Did you know hot chocolate is like cocoa and some sort of milk base, that you can take like almond milk, cocoa, and some stevia and have like almost no calorie hot chocolate? It tastes pretty good. Like, you know, hacks like that. So that's the first one. Second one is sauces and dressings. And that's a catch-all for like hidden stuff that's in restaurant food. But even when you make a sandwich and you slather some mayonnaise on there, man, if you weigh that on a food scale, you'll see like a very thin, like scrape of mayonnaise will give you like 100 calories. So, you know, just watch out. Like mustard's great too, and it's almost no calories. So that's number 2. Yeah.
If you're in anywhere in Chicago, I think they're starting to open up more across the country, but Portillo's has like this house dressing that they have. Tiny freaking tube, this big, 250 calories. And they give you 2 to 3 of them to put on your salad. So your salad's like 600 calories and you add 1,500 calories. And you don't even realize it tastes so good. So yeah, I agree 100%. Sauces, dressings, just be careful, because you'd be shocked at how little you need to get the serving size. And most of the serving sizes are pretty hefty. I mean, they're not small.
No, they're not. It's mostly because of the fat, right? Which is very calorie dense. When I met my wife, you know, she eats salads dry, like she doesn't use any dressing, which was shocking to me, because I love blue cheese dressing and, you know, oil and vinegar. But what I'll do now is I'll get like I don't know if it's Bubba's or what's that brand of barbecue sauce. It's like almost no calories.
I have no idea.
You know, and barbecue sauce on salad sounds weird, but it kind of tastes like that. Like what is that? French dressing or whatever. No, I know it sounds weird, but you gotta get the right. You gotta get the right type. It tastes like what's that orange dressing? French dressing.
Mustard? You gonna put mustard on salads?
No, I don't put mustard. That's crazy, man.
The barbecue sauce is weird. I am not advocating for barbecue sauce on salads. I also don't eat barbecue sauce, so that's for various reasons.
Okay.
That's
okay.
I can see what you're saying. I mean, my favorite dressing personally is balsamic vinaigrette. I love that.
That's good.
That's my go-to for almost everything.
Yeah. And one other hack there, just before we go on, is like if you have a salad, I like chicken thigh salads when I'm in fat loss phase, because the little bit of extra fat on the chicken thigh acts as a dressing on the salad without very much fat at all. So it's like just coating that salad with a little bit of that mouthfeel from the fat is what we're going for, right?
Yeah.
Number 3 would be everything that's called healthy that they sell in the store in the middle, in the middle aisles. So everything that's a healthy packaged snack, not everything, but I mean, just got to look at the data. Just look what's in there. Could be much more calorie dense than you think. And I think we know this. If you go back to like the 80s when they started the low fat craze and Snackwells and all that, to today, it's all food science is meant to be highly palatable and get you to eat more of it. And no matter what, it's going to compare, if not going to be favorable compared to Whole Foods, right? No matter how healthy they call it. Yeah.
Oh, 100. I mean, and we're also not saying, by the way, just because it's calorically denser than you think it is, that you shouldn't eat it. We're just saying,
correct.
Be aware, because for example, I buy this granola that is relatively healthy, all things considered, for granola, pretty healthy, you know, organic stuff. And like, that's a serving. Like it's so small, and I will find myself eating from the back, and I'll have like 6 servings without even trying, and each serving is 150 calories, and it's dense. You just have to be aware of it, because food companies are not your friends. They are not your friends at all. The opposite of Finding Nemo, fish are friends, not food. Like these people are not friends at all. Like they're hunting you like sharks. They know they know what they're doing. It's deliberately set to you. So yeah, anything that's labeled healthy or even low calorie is, I still think, probably a trap. Is my take on it.
Yeah, 90% of the time. Now, there's some interesting little hacks, Scott, that people look at me weirdly when I say it. But like, if I have a client who's in fat loss and they're on fairly low calories and they're like craving a sandwich, I'm like, look, they sell this keto bread. It's kind of interesting. It's made with like wheat starch mixed with a bunch of fiber. It's all it is, and it's actually like 15 grams of fiber in a slice for 40 calories. So I'm like, so there's some magic of food science out there that could serve you depending on the context we're talking about, right? So yeah. Number 4 hidden thing would be eating out, just eating out in general, because just like food manufacturers, restaurants want you to enjoy, have as much food as you can, have a bunch of sugar, salt, fat. So you say it's the best thing you've ever had, and then come again and tell your friends how wonderful the food was. They're not trying to serve your body composition goals. They don't care about that. They just care about a delicious meal, which is why you go out to eat, usually for the experience and for the food. So I'm fine if you want to eat out, plan for it and know what you're getting into, and then make some smart swaps or choices. Not to the extent where you're like suffering and feel like it's not a fun experience. Like that's the counter to this argument, is I want you to enjoy the slight indulgence of what you're getting in a restaurant, but do it in a smart way.
No, just honestly, never eat out. Just don't do that.
Yeah,
like,
there you go. Don't eat out.
Food hack. hitting calories. Food. Don't eat food. If you don't eat food, you can't get calories. No, I agree with you. I think I went to a restaurant recently, actually, shockingly, and I think this will shock people. I think it was either a Maggiano's or like a cheesecake factory, something along those lines. I don't remember exactly, but the burger and fries was less calories than the salad. Like I'm sitting here, like crazy. I had there was an omelet on there as well for breakfast, more calories than the salad. And I was like, how is this possible? And they I mean, we're talking 1,500, 2,000 calories for a meal. That's like not even, I mean, it's filling, but like that's only for one meal and you have a whole rest of the day to go. You could eat your entire daily allotment in one sitting in a restaurant. So again, it's not that you shouldn't eat out. It's just that be aware of when you're eating out, that if you're going to do it, you're doing it, and just be aware of it so it doesn't negatively affect you mentally. Because that's the biggest thing. Like I ate out. I had wings the other day. I mean, it is what it is. Not barbecue wings, but I had something. And sure. But yeah, so I agree with you. Eating out is crazy.
Yeah, and the last one I think we touched on already, which is just mindless eating. The grazing. Let me add nuance here, because mindless isn't just the hidden things that you don't know you're eating. It's the fact that we in modern society are always stimulated by something and doing something. We are working, we're watching, maybe we're reading a book even, but we're always like watching an iPad, watching our phone, doing something, eating at the same time. And that can cause you to consume way more calories than if you just were a little bit mindful about it. I'm not asking you to do like these complex, meditative practices of mindful eating that take, 45 minutes. You can.
Should we do a reverse? Should we do a reverse influencer take where it's like, and before every bite, you must meditate like Wim Hof for 30 minutes before every bite of popcorn. I mean, you can do that. I mean, that's
there you go. And then that one bite is going to just be so filling. You won't want another bite of popcorn. Yeah. I know.
One thing you could do is like, if like I tend to graze because I work from home, right? So my kitchen's over there. It's very easy to get to. One thing I try and do is basically if it's not on a plate, I don't eat it. So I have to pour it on a plate or a bowl so I can physically see how much I'm eating. Because if you just do it from the bag, it's just endless. But if you put it on a plate, at least you can see it. And I believe, don't quote me on the science on this, I believe if you put on a smaller plate, it'll look bigger, and therefore is quote unquote a hack to make you think you're eating more. There was actually a study done that says our perceptions will indicate our fullness on what we're eating. They basically did, they had a control group study where they gave someone a 300 calorie smoothie. They gave one group the same smoothie but said it was 100 calories. They gave a second group the same smoothie, said it was 900 calories. And they reacted as exactly as you think they would. The group that got 100-calorie smoothie was like, oh, we're so hungry, we got to keep going. And the group that got the 900-calorie smoothie, all the same calories, was like, we're so full, we can't keep going. Awesome. So perspective plays a huge role in that grazing mentality. Because if you just every 20 minutes go, you're like, oh, I'm not eating anything. But if you put it on a plate in a bowl and you see it, it could help you not eat as much. Just little things at no extra effort at all.
There's so many things like that. I mean, my wife makes the best desserts and she doesn't like a lot of sugar. So she just leaves out a lot of the sugar. Now, sometimes it's replaced with more eggs or butter, which is kind of defeats the purpose. But if in general, it's just a reduction in sugar, I get this this cake and I end up logging it as a cake, but then realizing I'm actually, I'm satisfied, but I noticed that I don't get quite as many calories as I think over the long term because of the fewer calories. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, you can trick yourself a little bit in that regard. Okay. So yeah, that was the 5 things. You want to go on to some more mindset stuff here. Let's just jump artificially, just jump to the